So here we are again. I've moved across the street. I kind of want to get a bird's eye view of what's going on over here. I've been speaking with a gentleman that did 25 years flat in the state of Texas. And he's here today to oppose and against and protest against, show his support against the death penalty. So that's coming from somebody who's been on the inside, who's been around a lot of these guys and done time. And, his human heart and mind tells him that, I guess life is life. And we've got these folks over here that are apparently fairly radical. I was being explained to, and they're protesting, and talking about whatever, talking about how the state of Texas committing murder, and just protesting. Actually, you're saving money, but you wasted the money by letting the guys live so long. If you're going to put them to death, just get it fucking over with once the appeals are done. So it is practically 6 o'clock and approaching dead on 6. I don't know that I've seen any witnesses moved. This is typically the time that they are going to be escorted across the street for the viewing of the execution. So a little bit of media over here set up, some cameras. As I said earlier, I did meet a couple of the reporters that will be witnessing this execution tonight. I'm not sure how I feel. I definitely think that probably execution is warranted. I couldn't say in this case I can relate to what this man was probably dealing with, and have probably been in the mindset that something stupid could have happened for me too in the right set of circumstances. But one thing I have learned over the years is this bell begins to toll at 6 o'clock. As it all, our actions have consequences and other actions behind them to follow, and I am responsible for the decisions I make. And I've made some bad ones. I've paid the consequences. Physically, mentally, emotionally, legally. I have been a broken person for many years of my life. So I was just telling this other gentleman over here that, I've gotten away with a lot of shit that I should have been in here for, I was a very naive and wounded person, So here we go. We have state's victims, state's witnesses, all some in black. This could be definitely the defense, or it could even be this gentleman's family. I know he's got a couple of kids. So they are making their way right here. And they'll bring them in groups. Obviously, we don't want any bad blood. We'll keep everybody separated.
Well, the media has gone in to witness the first legal lynching of
Could be the media. It was being explained by this lady over here with the microphone and the speaker. I am sure within the next 30 seconds you'll see the other groups escorted in, as it is 6:04. At this time he should be strapped down, I do believe, if there has not been a stay of execution, which I'm pretty sure he is not going to get it. It is possible, but we like death penalty here in Texas. I give the guy about 99.96% chance of getting the needle tonight. He did some bad shit. And yeah, you know, he's supposed to be escorted in the early minutes of 6 o'clock into that chamber. And being that those witnesses just came across the street, he's either currently being strapped in or strapped in. And it's perhaps that the family and other witnesses are already inside, because my understanding is that at 6:10, I think he's allowed to give his last words and administer the injection.
What Texas is fixing to do. We send you our love, and we are sad and angry and pissed off that Texas is playing
I'm gonna make my way back across the street and pump this guy for some information. Yeah, I'm Mike, by the way. Ryan or Brian? Ryan? Nice to meet you, man. Hey, if I say something out of line or ask a question you're not comfortable with, just let me know, man. Do you know where the body is taken out from? Is it this gate over here?
So right now they're in a place called the Death House.
Mm-hmm.
The Death House is that corner over there.
Right here behind the wall, right? Right there. Yeah.
Behind that corner, the far corner is the
When
Death
you
House.
murder
He's already in
someone,
They should be strapped in if there's not an appeal.
TJ, Governor Abbott, Dan Patrick, Kim Paxton, when you murdered, we're creating another set of
There's a
victims.
series of cells.
Because the families of the people murdered by
Yeah,
Texas
I've seen
are
inside.
now murder victims' families.
And so yeah, he's already strapped.
Thank you for helping.
He's already strapped
Thank
down.
you.
Yeah. Ugh.
The media just went in. So
Yeah.
waiting for the family to come in. Then when they leave right there.
So they'll leave through here.
Apparently, Texas is going to celebrate Black History Month in February because they haven't set an execution date for February. But for March, April, and May, each of those months, an African American man will be murdered here in Huntsville. One from Dallas and two from Fort Worth or Tarrant County. The murder tonight of Charles Thompson was a Harris County case. 8th victim of Texas on
Do you know
April
what funeral home they
30th.
let them
James
do?
Broadnax
depends if the
will be
family
the
claims the body.
599th
Okay.
victim.
I know he's got kids,
And
right?
on May 14th, Edward Busby
Family doesn't
will
claim
be
the
the
body.
600th execution.
Right over here.
Usually right over
Texas
there.
began
And then the
their
cemetery,
killing
known as
spree
Boot
on
Hill,
December 7th
is
of
if you go down the
1982.
street.
Penitentiary
Charlie
cemetery.
Yeah.
Brooks
Go down the
was
street, it's
murdered.
to the left.
When
Really?
the
It's just right down here?
On the other side of the
were
campus.
filled
Okay.
with students
Thank you.
from Sam Houston State who had kegs of beer and were celebrating. His sons ran into the DA maybe 10 years after Charlie Brooks was executed. They ran into him on the street before work, and he told them, "Aren't y'all Charlie Brooks' sons?" And they said, "Yes." He said, "You know, I prosecuted your father, but I really don't think he was guilty."
If you can gather enough of this brick up and keep it whole, man, people pay good money for this stuff.
Not this guy.
The stories of
There's a
every
town
single person
or there's
that's
a
been
little
executed.
building that fell apart that's made about the same age as these bricks, you know. That I travel through coming from here to where I'm from and all the time. And he's had forever spray painted on the wall. I do not sell the bricks.
Yeah.
Because people stop and ask to buy them all the
I've
time.
seen something like that. It's bricks not for sale.
Yeah.
But it was really, they didn't sleep during the important parts. So when you're on trial for your life, it seems like every second.
I mean, that thing's been like that as long as I can remember, you know. But I highly doubt they'll ever tear this thing down.
Oh no, it's just a
Yeah.
little marker right over there in the corner.
Yeah. The New Mexico State Prison that's outside of Santa Fe. There's a fantastic documentary done about the riot that took place there in like the 86 or 87 or whatever it was, 85 maybe. My dad moved to Taos here several years ago. And I took a big trip about a year and a half, 2 years ago, kind of all through New Mexico and Colorado, a little bit of Utah and stuff. And stopped at Santa Fe for a couple of nights and cruised out there one night. And that place is just fuck. I mean, it's basically one of these, and you know they were still using it in the 80s, and of course those guys tore the place up, killed everybody. You know, and it was terrible what happened over there. And eventually, of course, they shut all that down, but they put another, you know, they built another unit just right next to it, and it just freaking use it as movie prop now, you know, and shit like that. But I don't know, since you've been inside, if that's something you know pay attention to. But there's a really good documentary that some guy put together about that. Interviewed a lot of the prisoners that were in there.
Still haven't seen the family. The family should already be in there.
Yeah, maybe there's been a stay.
No, they shot it down. This guy escaped.
Yeah.
Not long ago.
Yeah,
They shot it. His last appeal was shot down about.
yeah. He busted out of Harris County after getting convicted. That's crazy. Got busted drunk in Shreveport. That's how they scooped him up. Of course, they were going to probably catch him anyways, but if he hadn't got drunk, he'd have had a better, better shot. You Stay close to any of the guys that are still in, or?
Oh yeah, I go in and volunteer and stuff like that.
Yeah. How long did it take? So you're on paper, right?
Yeah.
They allow you to come in on paper?
Yeah, if you're a life coach or a field minister,
Okay.
which I was, then they'll let you come in after 90 days.
Okay.
If you're not, then you'll come in after 2 years.
Okay. Because I know, like, I've participated in AA a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Off and on over the years. And every time I ever thought about coming in, they call it going behind the walls,
Mm-hmm.
right? I was always on paper or something and couldn't get in,
Yeah.
as a civilian, right? Because you got to be like 2 years minimum off of paper. But notoriously always picked up for pot, DUI or some shit. Were you able to pick up any kind of trade inside?
Yeah, diesel mechanic.
Okay.
Yeah, pick that up. But,
Have you
no,
pursued any of that?
when I came out, I got right into
Like ministry?
this organization that we run.
Okay.
So that, and I built a few motorcycles on the side and sell them.
Yeah. So you can use your hands. That's good. I've been free all my life,
Where are
and
these people
all I ever
coming
learned to
down?
do was talk. Oh man, I'm telling you, it's either over with
Looks like a group from Sam.
or he's getting to stay. One or the other, huh? Or you think it's some kids?
Maybe. College students.
Yeah, could definitely be. So, how many beds you got? I mean, I deal with guys coming off the streets and shit all the time myself. Not all the time, but I'm still pretty active with people in recovery, right? To all variants of degrees.
So we've got 11 right now.
Yeah.
We're acquiring a 40-acre lot.
Okay.
A house near between 40 and 80.
Okay.
So that's probably a couple of years out though. Yeah.
Okay.
So right now we've just got 11.
Man, a buddy of mine who's big into the whole sober thing, his parents are getting old and sick and kind of dying off. And they've got a property over here in Cleveland that's got like 4 or 5 fucking cabins on it already. Little fucking cinder block cabins and a main home and all sorts of water where they've dug quarries and different shit out there over the years. And apparently I don't think he or any of what is going to be around to fight over what's left over want it. And he's heavy in helping guys get off the street and sober and everything. And I'm like, dude, you run your own fucking place here, dude. Like, you're going to inherit all this and you want to sell it so you can live next to over in Deer Park and help those guys? You could fucking run your own place right here, dude.
Do it, man. Be better to get them out in the country. And all that.
Yeah, get them away from all the bullshit, Get them calmed down, and cleaned up. Transition, whatever, But he's always kind of said, I want to do whatever their wishes are. And I'm like, well, their wishes are going to probably be that you and your sister live there, So why not take advantage? You like helping people, shit. Man, you could, really change people's lives out here, May not be all of them, but it's going to be some of them. You're going to affect, we're already affecting lives.
It don't matter to them.
Yeah.
People that you help.
So, I never knew how much help there was out there until I needed it, There's a lot of help out there. So it's good to, be able to make connections like this. In fact, I've got a business card. You can at least take my information. This might be the family here. Okay, guys, it is late for this thing. It's 6:18.
And friends and loved ones of Chuck who are
Other
going to be
witnesses are
with
coming
him
across.
tonight, we are standing here with you. We love you and we thank you for maintaining a presence in his last minute. Thank you.
Crazy.
no
Definitely some
parent
somber folks coming across
should
the
have
street
to
right
witness
now.
the murder of their child. Never.
They are just.
I doubt that this thing's gonna focus enough to get anybody's face. But I'll get in there, maybe somebody else can enhance it. If anybody ever sees any of this footage.
Thank you. The state of Texas is committing murder tonight. And all of the employees participating are accessories to murder and guilty under the law of parties.
So typically this is done right at about 6 o'clock, 6:05, 6:10 at the latest. We're almost 6:20 now. And that is only the second group of witnesses. There should be another group.
Thank you for honking.
People are honking, people are protesting still.
We know that
Some kids have showed up from Sam Houston.
people are not
Walked straight down the street.
executions.
There's a lot of dorms in the back of the university, just down that road
Not
right
only
there.
is public support
That lonely,
right
lonely
now
road.
for executions, but for young people, it's very
Looks like we got some protection out in the street now. Possibly the victims' families are starting to come
who are going
across.
to be running this
There's
country
definitely
so
a police
that
presence
long gone.
gathered.
Thank heavens they have a brain and a heart and are intelligent enough to know.
Oh. Right in there. Right there.
Big Bird wanted me
He
to
is right
say
there.
mail call. She said it would put a smile on your face.
He is right there.
I know they changed pharmacies. Yes, it went to the store. I know they changed pharmacies. Because the last one, they were using an unmarked car that was in Romeo to pick up the drug.
He is right there behind that wall in that back corner of that building. He will be escorted directly out of there. And then out those gates.
Not in my name. The execution is proceeding. There's an anthropologist that follows Linda and I around, and he has quite a few.
Oh.
On the drug, how it's used in different countries. My name's on here. Thank you.
Oh, damn, you had to learn how to use one of those things when you got out then, huh? I was just sitting here thinking about your time, and I was like, oh, shit, he missed all that. Because I don't think I got my first. They didn't make it cheap enough for everybody to have one until about 99, 2000. And it was just cell phones. It wasn't a smartphone
I
yet.
had a Nokia, one of those little Nokia with the
Yeah.
had a bag phone.
I'm sure y'all had contraband inside, or somebody did. Of course, the guards probably had on.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
they carry their phones? A lot of
No,
them?
no.
No.
The only people that have their phones are majors and up.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, buddy of mine from many years ago disappeared. Saw him about 3 years later, and he'd gotten all at TDCJ, and I haven't seen him. I saw him about another 5 years after that. And apparently, he was fairly high up or on his way to a career, you know. Didn't want anybody to know he was hanging out in a poker room, you know. Dude, I'll get in trouble if I get caught. Well, fuck, we're all gonna get in trouble if we get caught in here, dude. Shit. No, you don't understand. I'm like, I get it, bro.
Richie's Specialty Pharmacy. Did you know about it, Yankee?
L.A., huh?
Yeah, Long Beach.
Yeah, man. I spent off and on. I was out there about two and a half years. Probably about 10 months total. Really, really beautiful place. People are super weird though. Kind of interesting, definitely. You got everything out there. So, were you out there for the whole Rodney King and OJ and all that?
Yeah, I was in high school for that.
Yeah.
I came over the loudspeaker and announced the whole OJ verdict.
Yeah. Oh man, it had the whole
Yeah.
whole country captivated, dude. I mean, I think I watched almost damn near every second of that fucking trial because it was on every television, no matter where you went. That was on. And of course, I remember the verdict being read, and I'm sure the reaction was the same thing where you were. All the white people were like, "What?" All the black folks were like, "Yeah."
That's about it.
Yeah.
I was just here this morning picking some guy up that made parole.
Yeah. Did you get him in? You get him a bed?
Yeah, I got him. Took him to see his parole officer.
Used to be a place that did that, would do some transitioning called Bear Recovery down in Dickinson. And I did a stint through there for a few months many stints through some sort of rehab, whatever, And they had 4 houses, and the original 2 houses, they would pick guys up. And man, I seen guys do 25 flat, show up over there, be there for 3 days, maybe a week and a half, and get a little visit with somebody or whatever, and never come back, dude. It's like, God damn, bro. You're going back. I mean, I'm sure.
Yeah, not hurting enough yet, man.
Well, I mean, I'm sure that probably it's being institutionalized is probably part of it too, to some degree. I always found that kind of just scary, man, that you're out 7 days and don't come back. I mean, you broke it. You probably got fucked up or hurt somebody or did whatever you weren't supposed to be doing. And they're coming, dude. It's sad. It's real sad, man. There's so many people hurting, man. That's what's sad. Because, like I said earlier, I could have been here umpteen jillion different times. There's just so much pain in the world, man. Man, surprised there wasn't another group of witnesses.
They're probably already in there.
I mean, she announced that it was proceedings, so and they're moving.
They come back out, we'll know it's over.
Yeah. So, as a possible reference, there is a free man's detox that you might not be aware of called the Wheelhouse down in Deer Park, Texas.
Yeah.
So, and they just built some new facilities there, man. It's like a 5-week kind of lockup. You want to stay, you do whatever we say kind of place, right? And then, you transition from, kind of being on lockdown to, go get a job. You got to pay rent. You got to pay for your bed, right? And they feed you, house you, clothe you, the whole kit and caboodle, man. I've been through there a couple times. Possible resource for you, man, if you need to get a guy a bed right quick. It's called the Wheelhouse.
I don't know who these guys are.
Reporters, perhaps.
Gloria's out here, I'm out here, Joy's out
The
here.
Wheelhouse.
There's quite a few of us that make it every single execution. And I think that's why they kicked us out of the
They just
road.
kicked them off the corner.
Yeah, remember I was asking about that.
Well, tell your son Fraser. Fraser? Is that I'm not sure the whole name structure, but tell him I said hi.
I mean, just a little shady. Ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, just a little bit.
I'll turn my thoughts and eyes this direction.
I have mad respect for all of them. Tiara, love you. I know
I definitely got eyes on them, that's for sure.
can't wait till you come back, girl.
Yeah, man, I've seen miracles happen in that place. Seen a lot of people die too. That's just the nature we're dealing with, especially with fentanyl these days, man. It's killing us.
Yeah, they're immediately there's the camera right there. About to get run over by that car.
But, I mean, dude, I went through there, and some old gal that lived down the street, her husband worked in the factory forever and died there, and she was lonely. And she'd come up there and find some guy she liked, help him out, man, pay him $100 a day, She ended up buying me a little $3,000 used car, dude, and everything. I was like, holy shit, bro. Got me a job. And she tried to do that for about once a year. There was some guy in there. She keeps trying to buy me some alumni Delta Club, whatever that's called, frat, out on Hump Day Patrol. But she did that about once a year, man. She'd corner some dude, take a liking to him. We're buying you a car. Yeah, there's not a lot of free facilities, so that's why I bring that one up. Of course, there's all the 24-hour clubs, you know, but you basically got to show up drunk and just sit there, never move, you know. I'm not leaving, dude. I need a bed, you know.
You know why these guys are so late?
You know, maybe there's some last minute legal shit going on. Or maybe they're having complications in there. You never know. That's why I was kind of curious to catch that guy. This ABC guy said he's witnessed several of these. And see if he'd go on the record, you know, about kind of what transitioned in there, if it was any different than any of his other, you know, if it was just typical. But this doesn't seem typical. Like, this doesn't seem mapped out. Man, how long did it take for you to pick up the cigarettes again?
About 6 months.
Yeah.
Everybody around me was smoking.
Yeah. You get to smoke anything inside ever?
Smoke. Cigarettes were too expensive.
Right.
I smoked weed a couple times, but we're all on that K2 crap now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's been a problem for a long time.
Shit's ridiculous, man.
And of course, fentanyl now is everywhere, I'm sure. I would think it's inside. It's got to be.
I don't see too much fentanyl.
Yeah. But that K2 like crazy, huh?
Yeah, K2 is crazy. Speed.
You don't see it on the streets much anymore. That's what's really weird.
See,
Is that if it's in the prison system, I mean, sure, it's on the street somewhere, but
you can go smoke weed on the
I'm just
street.
saying, yeah. But 10 years ago, they were fucking dumping out all over the place, all over Houston. You know? And I don't see it anymore. Like, you know, I was going through, like I said, I've been through a lot of rehabs. So I've seen those guys, you know, I've never been hooked on that stuff. And yeah, about 7, 8, 9 years ago, it was everywhere. I don't see people coming in for it anymore. Now it's all fentanyl, seriously, or meth, or drinking.
Yeah, there's a lot of meth inside.
Probably lots of hooch.
Yeah, you know,
It's got to be hard to hide, though.
Yeah, you just make it in a couple days and drink it. Pay somebody to hold it.
Yeah. Were you able to, you know, get some sort of income coming in where you're able to kind of make yourself comfortable?
Yeah, so they have, depending on the unit you're at, they have craft shops, so you can do metal work, leather work, art, or woodwork.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of metal work for the Archdiocese of Galveston, Houston.
Okay.
Making rosaries, making altar wear, stuff
Very
like that.
cool. Very cool. Yeah, I should be really good friends with a guy named Jerry Bobo. Did 17 years up in Georgia for killing a cop, right?
Down here, they'll kill you for that.
Yeah. And You remember that show, Unsolved Mysteries? Of course, I think it's made a comeback. It's on Netflix or something again, you know. But do you remember that show, Unsolved Mysteries, from when you were a kid? With Robert What's-His-Nuts, Sack, or whatever his name was, you know.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 you know, I watched it every goddamn week. Of course, that was back before most everybody had cable just yet. Anyways, make a long story longer, he did 17 years killing a cop up in Georgia, and fucking somebody got a hold of somebody that was associated with that show, and his story got told to somebody, and they picked his case up and got him out of fucking prison.
Wow.
He wasn't guilty.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. He's like, dude, I should have been there for some other shit, you know, just like all of us. And he's all junky, you know, and he was always wanting somebody to write his story, and I'm like, dude, I'm just not a writer, you know.
I've been screaming.
And I thought about trying to start a business with him that, of course, I see kind of online a lot now. But he was still friends with a lot of guys because that wasn't the only place he'd ever done any time. He'd probably done about 30, 40 years total, you know. And he'd get this artwork from people he knew, you know. And, man, he had all these killer pieces of art, you know, in his house. And I was like, dude, there's got to be a way, you know, that this could be, you know, profitable for somebody and go towards the victim funds or whatever, you know. And I've seen, you know, that kind of some of that's been set up for some of these guys. But he could just never stay clean, man. Of course, he and I got fucked up a lot together. I'm pretty sure he stayed out of going back.
It's got to be almost over. What time is it?
It is 6:41. Is that right?
People that are standing at the line.
Yeah.
Who cares, lady?
Oh, what's that room? They don't need our help.
Of course, I did a little research into some of that. Just kind of sitting around one night, looking through the internet too much, you know. And there's all sorts of people that like fucking wackadoos for the serial killer guys, you know, like their autographs, hair, fucking artwork, fucking boxers, whatever, you know. And I went down a total rabbit hole with that shit.
What did you say,
Well, case in point, it is 6:42. We are long past what the clock should have registered at this point. From my understanding, typically 6:10 is about the time that if there has been no stay, that the drugs are administered. And this is usually wrapped up by about 6:30, and we are now almost 6:45.
And Valencia should be shut down. There's many units that should be shut down. We yell at the window. We don't yell at the windows. There's no way that we would yell at the windows.
Radios, I guess TVs are probably the preferred, but are radios still used quite a bit inside?
They've got tablets now.
Yeah,
Everybody's got tablets. So
it's crazy.
here at the Walls unit, you've got TVs in your cell.
Yeah.
This is the only unit. Well, Ramsey has it, but
It's like automatic.
This
You don't
is
have to
the-
buy them. They're like installed.
yeah, you can't. Other units you can't buy TVs.
Yeah.
They're in the day rooms, but this prison's so old it doesn't have day rooms.
Yeah.
They have 13-inch TVs in every cell.
Well, something.
Which is pretty good.
Yeah. 13-inch color.
Yeah.
Shit. Small cell, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a 5x9.
Yeah. Yeah. They've got. I don't know if you've ever been to the museum, but they've got basically, one of these set up in there. A couple of them. And of course, the old Sparky's in there.
The place where they used to have the execution chamber, where the electric chair was, is now the pill window.
Okay.
Here.
Oh, so it's the like the visitors area, or not the visitors,
No,
but
it's-
witnesses, kind of.
No, that's where people go to get their medication.
Okay. Oh, so that's all medical and everything. It's just all kind of in the same place. Makes sense.
The death penalty just prolongs the victims.
Yeah, I took a bus ride up to Minnesota one time. All that shit that's going down up there right now. It should have been going. Everybody's been robbing that state line forever, dude. It ain't just them Somalis. It's plenty of white folks and people that claim to be Christian. Look, dude, I went up there for. That's what George Floyd was doing up there. He was from here. He was up there hustling the system, And several of those guys from the wheelhouse I was telling you about took the fucking train up there, right? And I fucked up once again, as I do, And I wound up on a Greyhound coming out of Conroe, Houston, headed up that way. And we stopped right here and picked some fellas up so they could catch a bus in Dallas for the most part, most of them. And the fellow ended up sitting next with me. He really enjoyed being able to watch a movie on my phone, We just sat there and enjoyed our ride, man. I think he'd been in for a while, and I didn't want to ask, but you could kind of just tell. He was still young and looked like he'd probably been in there quite a while.
It doesn't take Einstein to figure where all the money in Texas, Florida, the Redskins.
But yeah, I got off that bus in Minnesota. I had a bed immediately. I had food stamps in 10 days. I had rehab paid for and my rent paid for within 5 days to a week. Full-blown medical insurance through the state.
Wow.
So if anything was wrong with me, they would have fixed it, no matter what. Fuck my heart, my butt, whatever. If I had AIDS, whatever, they were going to fix it. Cancer, fix it. And all free. And and on Suboxone and whatever you need. And man, I stayed about 4 months, and I was like, this is fucking crazy, dude. Everybody is on the grift up there, dude.
Yeah, it's across the board. Drugs are bad in every person. But
And I wasn't able to really determine if it was good for some of these guys or, being an addict
There's
myself.
probably
It's like,
better ways to go about it than
just giving everything, like all I got to do is nothing, and I can just live and exist. And that's a lot of fucking dope fiends' dreams, And you're gonna feed me Suboxone,
there was no visitation allowed.
I didn't understand it, man. I got out of there quick.
They still had drugs. How do you think that happened?
But yeah, I'm sure you've seen that bus pulls right down this road.
Not the death penalty. Their crime rate is so low in the states that have the death penalty.
Guy that became my sponsor one time when I went through the wheelhouse, lived across the street from there.
Absolutely. Looking to
He got out of here one time. He immediately came over here, cashed that check, bought a fucking six-pack, didn't make it out of Huntsville, started smoking crack, and they picked him up like 2 days later in Huntsville, put him right back inside. It's like, damn, man. That's powerful, bro. He'd just done like 7 years. It didn't even make it past that store. I mean, I giggle at things like that just because I've been through it all,
every American's right to feel.
But he's changed his life. He's doing real well for himself. It's the surrender thing, man. God, it's total metamorphosis.
Visitors cannot, or family, friends cannot send this letter. So drugs are not coming through the mail. They cut that out. And then they had that, you're right, it was like a month-long lockdown, no visitation. Drugs still came in. Wow. Yeah, we all know. We all know how the drugs are getting in. No, we're not saying that, you've got a one-off situation. And we know the one-off because people look at that all over their social media. Look, here's a visitor they got caught. But we appreciate TDCJ Troll. Yes, we do. I know I do. Yes, Allie, I'm out. Drones come in via drone. We've been watching.
So do you stay on site?
No, I live about 15 miles north of town. And the other places, the house is actually in Riverside.
Okay. Were you able to find a significant other
No,
through your time locked up or since you've been out?
no, I do not have time for
Right.
that. A woman would deserve to have the voted tour, man. It was,
Allowing life to make its way, right?
March 11th, Cedric Ricks is scheduled. The next
Did you have any kids or anything before you went on?
no kids.
I always tell people, not that I know of, I traveled around a lot. Never gotten that knock or the letter or the phone call.
You're right. When you look at it, you have one person from the 90s when it was tough on crime, getting the death penalty. But some serial killers are not getting the death penalty in those states. It's arbitrary. Oh, in Dallas, in Florida. Did you hear about the man from Dallas? Yeah, he was back then the county had Dallas man recently, and I'm sorry I don't know his name. He was declared innocent. That's 70 years ago. Oh yes, we have all heard of that drug called K2, but it could be called Push. I forgot the other. They all have. Yes. If she's innocent, it's not wasted. It's fine. That's what it is. Tommy Lee Walker was banned. Spice Tunes, yeah. Thank you, Gary.
Time is 6:54. Oh shit! Today's Wednesday, isn't it? God damn it! I was supposed to be on a Zoom call earlier and I forgot about it.
So Cedric rent
Wasn't that
will be
important.
$598 if the execution goes through. JD,
Some sort of keys being passed or something over here.
Yeah. Probably bring
okay, so Cedric rent will be $598 and then the James Broadcast will be $599. And then Edward Busby will be $600. Edward Busby's scheduled for May 14th, but like I said, the next three.
so
It's over. Coming out.
they're coming in.